started up the show with the last-second loss to the L.A. Rams, and I heard Brad and Babe driving in saying, these preseason games are great, and then Brad followed up and said, they're always great. And I'm like, I know you guys are like there embedded, but this is not great. It's awful, and yesterday's game was awful.
Oh,
what are you talking about, Brad and Broadus? They're always great, and that was great.
So we're sitting there on the couch, and I get the kiddos there, and we're watching the Rangers-Yankees, and Sarah's like, God, this game is boring. That was before the Rangers' big cover. That was like 8-3 at the time. So this is brutal.
Oh, the Rangers won?
No.
Oh.
And then, fast forward 3 hours later, she's like, God, this is brutal. This is boring. I was like, yeah, it's tough, man. It's preseason's tough to watch because, you don't know the players, most of them.
Well, we do. We just came back from training camp.
We know them, but 99.9% of the people are like, what am I watching?
But I feel like you're usually at least watching, even the first preseason game, you're usually watching it and there's something more you can take out of this position group or these guys. This was painfully boring. This was like scratch your eyes out boring. I was texting you guys yesterday sitting in here watching it, and I was just like, there's so little here. I feel like now by the end of the game, it's like I feel like, all right, I've got this. I've got these little context clues I can gather together. I can find some stuff.
Well, you don't have the tape yet to study Brock Hoffman.
I don't. I haven't grinded the tape yet. But man, I don't know that I need to see any more of the tape to see once more that man number 19 is not an NFL quarterback.
All right, so let's start with Trey Lance. And sometimes I have Oxnard fear. I have Oxnard anxiety. And there was a safety years ago that really gave it to me. Who was the safety who we were hyping up when we didn't get Earl Thomas and had a phenomenal camp and was intercepting everything?
Xavier Woods.
I have Xavier Woods anxiety because we go out there for a week and a half and we're at practice 2 a days and doing the show and talking to the players and talking to everyone. And then a game turns on. Broadus said it about Marquise Bell. He doesn't ever notice Marquise Bell in practice, but he's always noticing Marquise Bell during a game. And I kind of had Trey Lance trepidation in saying, watch him come out here and freaking ball and make us all look stupid. I feel like what the Metroplex and everyone saw from Trey Lance yesterday was basically exactly what we said was happening in California.
Overthrows. Man, it's everything.
Bobby, who's that quarterback coach that you know?
The Jeff Christensen.
Can someone get a memo to Jeff Christensen? Bring it down.
Yeah, bring it down.
What are the mechanics? What are the techniques? Lower it.
Yeah.
We're not throwing oops out here to Dwight Powell.
He needs a good shoulder injury to weaken his arm. To weaken his arm a little bit, right? That's just not a bad injury, just like a little tired arm. Just weaken that arm a little bit.
Thoracic outlet syndrome.
Maybe I don't know what that is. That's the feeling, the numbness. No. Not like a bad injury, just a little bit of scar tissue in there, just to allow the arm not to be quite as strong because everything is 38 feet over the other guy's head.
Dude. It is. The athleticism is obviously there. He's showing off the legs and running around, but you don't know what's going to happen or where that ball is going to go. That 4th down throw I thought was indicative of everything. Yeah. 4th down, left side of the end zone, didn't even give the receiver a chance.
No, he literally... They say throw it to the pylon. No, he threw it beyond that. He threw it to the back pylon. You could see, it takes you about 30 seconds to see exactly why Trey Lance was drafted in the top 5. And then it takes you another 30 seconds to realize why Trey Lance doesn't have a role in the NFL to this point.
Yeah, he's what you expected to see in terms of the positives you expect to see from him. They were on display. The ability to improvise and some of the scrambling ability and what he's able to do with his legs, it was all impressive. The only positives I think you saw from him at all yesterday all had to do with his playmaking ability, his ability to extend, the stuff that he can do with his legs. And that's why he's a guy who clearly has good athleticism. I think there are packages within this offense that you can run for him, but that's it. He is not a quarterback. He is a gadget player. That's the way that I look at Trey Lance because nothing's on target. It's even when it's not high, it's off. It's behind guys. It's too far in front. And then the times yesterday when he put it on the money, Racy McMath or somebody was dropping it.
Don't look at the numbers. You may already be studying the box score. How many yards per pass?
I saw this.
4.2.
You looked.
No, I didn't.
4.6 on 25 of 41. I would not have thought it was that bad, though, at 4.6.
41 attempts to throw for less than 190 yards that is, I mean, look, there's an element to like not, pre-Amari Cooper Dak year where they would have like, he went like 8-10 games without throwing for 200 yards.
Without throwing, yeah.
This is before Amari Cooper got there. There was an element like, and then there's like, back. This is honestly, quite frankly, this is what backup quarterbacks do. Backup quarterbacks come in and they're just check down guys.
So for all the Trey Lance fans in the offseason, on the Franklin Franco Injury Attorney text line, I want to see if you are willing to forget pumping the brakes. Slamming on the brakes, like apparently you have to do at 5:30 in DFW traffic, which I haven't known for 15 years, and say, okay, Dak, go ahead and take your money, up that check total, or Cooper Rush is the number 2 on this football team to start off.
Look, there's a little bit of, I don't know, maybe we'll call it Dak derangement syndrome. There's a little bit of that exists.
Where would you hear the original comment?
I mean, I just made that up. But there's a little bit of that exists because yesterday I had 5 separate tweets by the end of the game going, in your face, see, you said Trey Lance sucked. I was like, okay, first off, I never said he sucked. I never used those words. Ultimately, that's what I'm describing, but that's not the words that but there were a lot of people yesterday who came out of that game were like, see, this is why Trey Lance is, we got to grow this. Look at what this is. And you do forget, this is still like year 4, year 5, like this is year 5 for him.
And you may not still want to re-sign, no matter what Trey Lance does out there, you still don't want to re-sign Dak because you just don't believe he can get you far enough. But you at least have to admit right now that Trey Lance is not the answer to replace him.
It's got nothing to do with Trey. If you want to move on from Dak, fine. But that decision is completely separate from Trey Lance. Now, I'll tell you this. You're right. Cooper Rush is the 2 right now. I don't want to see Cooper Rush the rest of the preseason.
Nope.
I know what Cooper Rush has.
Yeah.
I know. Let Trey play. The one thing he doesn't have and he can't get once the regular season starts is reps.
Yeah.
Let him take all the snaps. It doesn't bother. These games don't matter anyway. Let him play. Maybe it gets better.
A watered-down preseason version of Star Up, Star Down from the Cowboys' 13-12 loss to the Rams yesterday on 105.3 The Fan. Roberto, what else stood out?
I thought there was a lot of criticism for him on social media I saw after the game. I don't think Mazi Smith played terribly when I saw him in there. I think that there was definitely some positives with your young rookies. Tyler Guyton only had his 2 series coming off of what they described as pneumonia.
Let's also add, coming off of Chime Udoga and the injury, Kyle Yeomans did a nice job reporting yesterday after Udoga had the left foot put in a cast. Guyton's plan went from 2 quarters to 1 series. Just like that. Because there's Udoga. Maybe you're starting left tackle banged up. We can't have Guyton hurt either. So that altered things dramatically, according to Kyle.
And he came back in for he was in for the 1 series, was out then for the rest of the half, and then he comes back in to start the second half randomly when they were down some personnel where Guyton had to come step in. And saw him.
Secretly, not to be G-Bag 2.0. Good. Whatever forces Guyton to go ahead and start on the left side out there to begin the year. Dak, hopefully that doesn't mean that you get murdered.
Well, yeah, because for me, it's like, Guyton may have more hiccups because he's obviously young and first year, but I also think he has a much better chance of stopping, of not stopping, but putting a body and containing Miles too.
Yep.
Sure. The biggest issue for them, the biggest issue for a coaching staff a lot of times is going to be, all right, fine. It's nice that you're more talented naturally and you can get in the way more consistently. What I can't have, though, is on a cohesion unit, 10 different snaps during the game, you don't know what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, because you make the mistake or 2 out there, and we are talking about Cooper Rush and Trey Lance.
It gets blown up. But Guyton, that second series he came in for, he's sucking wind. Like, he's hands on the hips, you can tell he had not been, his conditioning's not right now. But when he was out there, he didn't get embarrassed at all. The 2 different series he played, he looked good. Nealand, I thought, was really good on that opening drive. He had a couple different plays where you see you see the kind of stuff that the Cowboys talked about with him in run defense, where he locks into these defenders, he drives them down towards the ball, he's able to shed them, he's able to get off of the block and make the play. So I thought Nealand was really good in the run support. But Mazi is the one who, and funny enough, I think a lot of what people were seeing was Albert Huggins not playing very well at times. When I saw some of the Mazi meltdowns on Twitter.
Who's Albert Huggins?
Albert Huggins is the defensive tackle they signed last week as a free agent who wears 68. And he has a little bit of the longer hair that Mazi had last year.
And he's following you on social media.
He's searching his name at the very least. I know that. But the Huggins was getting driven off the ball. And to be fair, he just walked into camp last week. He's going to need a little bit of time, but he's getting blown off the ball. And I think a lot of people saw that and saw 68, 58, thought it was Mazi. Mazi played well in the little bit that he was there. I think when I turn on the tape, Sean, I'm going to look at it, and I think he's going to grade out well. It's just like Mazi does, he gets run down a little bit. He's tired. He gets worked down really, really quickly, and that's a problem. He's got to work on his conditioning. He's got to be better prepared to do that on a more consistent basis.
YouTube and the Twitch is lit here with the 6 a.m. club. I love this research here and optimism from Ultra Cowboy. Aaron Rodgers' first preseason appearance, 0-5 opener, 2 of 6, 7 yards, sacked twice. So basically trying to say Trey Lance can still be Aaron Rodgers. We got Sean in here. We got we got a two-person combo, like the Facebook names. You know, when your wife's like, you're not having your own Facebook page. You're liking too many KG photos.
Like Peyton's going to do to Mackenzie eventually.
We got the combo on here. Good morning to Darth. Good morning to Wayne as well. Thank you for being a total. That stands for turn it on, leave it on.